Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure diorama review. Today, we're going to be looking at the Extreme Sets cardboard pop-up diorama J-806M. Now, I don't really know what the significance of the name is. This is sort of a facility, sort of intended for sci-fi use. Could be an alien off-world facility. Could be a research facility hidden underground in the regular Earth. I can see a ton of different uses for this thing. It looks great. It looks like it's been around for a while. Some weathering. Let's go and check out the packaging. As you can see, J-806M pop-up. Here's an example of how it's going to look inside the package. Here's sort of one of the walls. Blank at the top, the side. J-806M pop-up diorama, 1/12 scale. And at the back, Extreme Sets pop-up diorama. Shout out to my boy RB. He sent me this item to review. He runs an eBay store called RebTech. There will be a link in the description below. If you're looking for a place to get Extreme Sets, that's not a bad option to choose from. In this video, we're going to take a look at the assembly. We're going to look at the finished product. And we're going to check out a bunch of different various action figure lines to see what fits with this thing. So no further ado, let's open it up. I guess this thing is numbered J-806M. It's just sort of a random designation for an alien planet. Kind of thinking like LV-426 and Aliens. This set would also probably work great for Star Wars, Star Trek, Halo figures. Ton of sci-fi possibilities. Alright, now that we got this thing out of the package, here are all the pieces laid out in front of you. Looks like we have some wall pieces, a staircase, flooring, some columns, doors, etc., etc. Now, I think this thing could be good for two main things that come to my head. Number one, maybe Batman invading a research facility. And number two, my NECA, aliens, colonial marines, on a xenomorph-infested planet. In addition to all these pieces in front of you, there is an instruction set, and this is going to come in handy. Those have an inventory of everything you need, and it's going to explain how to start off. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take these four wall pieces and put them together. They each have little doorways. I'm going to be constructing this thing the same as it is on the Extreme Sets website. So take each piece, and it's got kind of a pre-folded area here. Fold it, crease it very firmly all the way across. It'll expose these two sort of tabs here. Tabs will go into these slots here, and then you have your wall. Do it with all four pieces. Once you have the four walls assembled, you've got the outer shell of this diorama. Started to take shape already. Now let's assemble the doors. There are three different doors and three different pieces. The actual door, the door exterior, and the door interior. We'll start off with the door exterior. Comes flat like this. Sort of gotta pop it open. Be gentle as to not crease it in the wrong places. Completely fold it against itself. Take all these little tabs, fold them in where the creases are. The better you do it now, the easier it'll be in the long run. Fold along each various place. Once you've done that, fold everything in together. Do the same at the bottom. The better you crease it now, the better it'll look. Once you have this thing assembled, make sure not to shut one side. Leave it open so you can insert the interior door and the actual door itself. This is going to be the bottom part. The part's a little thinner. Now you'll take the doorway interior. This has to go on the inside. This is what you'll see. So you're going to fold it in. Kind of like so. All of these things are also going to end up folding, I believe, outward like this. Once that's done, connect the tab into a little slot here, and you'll have the interior of the doorway. Your doorway interior will look something like this. Now you take the doorway interior, the exterior, and the actual door, Insert the interior into here, the door at the very back, very bottom, and you should have a functioning doorway. Here's a finished doorway. You won't see that far in the back with the cardboard. At this point, you should have 3 doorways that'll look like this. You'll simply slide each doorway in behind the diorama. Now let's look at the column. Thing is laying flat right now, just like before. Kind of got to sort of pop it open, fold it very firmly against the crease, way firmer than this. Fold all the tabs in at each area that's already bent. Fold it very firmly, and then it should all just sort of come together. Here's the column when you're finished. The picture I'm using for reference from the Extreme Sets website shows the column sitting here. Random column. Seems kind of unnecessary. Now to assemble the staircase. You have the base of the staircase, bottom step, top step, second step, and what looks like a couple of middle steps. Let's start off with the staircase base. You're going to want the cardboard side up, white side on the bottom, although it doesn't really matter too much. You're going to crease everything except this crease in the middle. Try to avoid messing with that one. Keep it flat, this whole part. So fold this very firmly. Do the same on the other side. Should look about like this at this point. Now you want to take this bottom step. It's kind of has sort of tab here. Fold against the tabs. Each one very firmly. Once that's done, take the tab, insert into the slot, and then wrap it around and put the first step in here. It'll look about like this now. Don't be alarmed if it's not staying together. As you add more steps, it'll be more durable. Now take your second step. It's the one that you have one piece of. You have 2 of the middle steps. Take it just like before. Fold each of the pieces. Do it very firmly. Once that's done, insert it, wrap it around, add your second step. Now your staircase should look like this. Now you take your middle step, and the set comes with 2 of them, although I don't believe you need 2. I think you just need 1. Just like before. Fold the creases, and then wrap around the staircase. Here's a staircase with the middle step attached. Looks like I was wrong. This second middle step is going to go up here. Now your staircase will look like so. Then we'll take this top step, just like before, crease it on each one of the folds here very firmly. Then you'll insert it here, and it will wrap all the way around into this tab down there. And here's the staircase, fully assembled. Now to assemble the stairs wall panel. Lay it down flat, just like before. Sort of pop it open, fold it against itself so it can take the shape. This is simply going to stand in the back. And you'll insert the stairs inside. Like I said, simply take this area here, drop it behind here, and you'll have your entryway. Add in your stairs, and voila, you have an entrance to another level. And a top view of the walled off staircase. And the last thing we're going to do is use the floor piece. Maybe I should have done this sooner, but it's going to work out either way. Large folded up piece, open it up, and it's going to have enough flooring to cover the entire diorama. And there you have it. The diorama is now complete. Now the floor's a little bit odd, kind of a rocky surface. It's like it's actually the ground there. Personally, I would have expected to have some sort of concrete or metal flooring here. You could probably substitute it with some other flooring from a different Extreme Sets. It just looks a little odd. Seems like a building like this, a facility, would have some kind of actual ground, and not just the rocky floor below. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the diorama and the assembly, now let's check out the measurements in case you want to know if you could accommodate how big this thing is. As far as how wide it is, about 37 inches wide. As far as how tall it is, about 14 inches tall. As far as how deep back it goes, about 18.5 inches deep. And of course, it's going to be a little bit deeper where you have the staircase, about 31 inches deep. Now let's look at the action features this diorama provides, and there's really not much. You've got 3 smaller standard doorways. There's number 1, number 2, and number 3. You also have this larger doorway that leads into the staircase. Beyond that, not too many other action features. Now I imagine you can move the staircase around if you really wanted to, and I'm curious, what can we do with the doorway? Can we remove the door and have an actual creature perhaps coming through? We'll check that out shortly. Now let's get some action figures in here. Here's a detachment of Colonial Marines from my NECA Aliens collection. They're investigating this planet after they lost contact with the colonists on the J-806M. They detach sentry turrets at each one of the doorways. Here's the first doorway. The second larger doorway with 2 sentry turrets. Here's the third doorway being protected. Here's the fourth doorway under sentry gun protection. These Marines think they're safe at this point, but little do they know. The aliens try to push through their defenses. They're testing these sentry guns. They'll just keep charging in until they run out of bullets. In comes a xenomorph. I took the back part of the doorway off, and if you have a black background, it actually looks pretty decent like this. Here's an alien crawling through the doorway to get to the Marines. The Marines try to contain the breach, but the sheer number of aliens from the Horde make it impossible. And before you know it, a few aliens have gotten in. The aliens have found a weak point in the Marines' defenses. They are just pouring through that doorway. More and more xenomorphs come pouring through the entrance. These Marines are not looking good. And before you know it, the Marines went from overconfident to overrun. This is definitely a losing battle. Looks like we have a future alien hive here. This diorama might work good for the Suicide Squad figures, as they're investigating Project Starro. I could see this diorama being useful for Star Trek, landing on an alien planet, Star Wars, one of the millions of different alien settings it could be. Perhaps G.I. Joe, secret Cobra lair being snuck into, for your Predator figures. I could see a lot of use out of this thing depending on what you're into. Hell, this could make for a building on the planet Apocalypse, where Darkseid's in control. Now let's check this diorama out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how it fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can use with this thing. And I'll tell you, these extreme sets, they'll work good with your smallest 6-inch scale figures, and pretty much all the way up to your 8-inch scale figures. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. Here it is, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures, some DST or Diamond Select toys, and some McFarlane toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures, some NECA figures, and some Mattel wrestling figures. And here, with some Jazzwares wrestling figures, some Mezco 112 collective figures, and some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And finally, here it is with some Mafex figures, some Hasbro Marvel Legends, and some SH Figure Arts action figures. Like I said before, it'll accommodate some of these smaller figures up to some of your larger 7-inch figures. So overall, this is a pretty cool diorama. I really like the uses I'm going to get with my Aliens and NECA collection. I could also see a ton of secondary, third, and fourth different kind of variations. This diorama is very versatile. It can be an underground facility. It can be a sci-fi foreign planet. Just a ton of uses. If I were to rate this thing, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I'm definitely enjoying this thing more than I expected. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure diorama and action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.